this is how it's viewed. God bestowed the idea within a man's mind to create a numerical based system to utilize, to originate that system. The idea was placed into a man's head to actually create a number system to follow, a basic number system to follow, and then it evolved over time. So the thing is, that's ability. God bestowed the ability, the mental ability for man to think and create a numerical based system. Now, it's clearly stated right there twice. God bestowed the ability. Not man bestowed the ability. Not man just came up with it out of nowhere. God bestowed the ability. Okay? So therefore, you need to understand that verses. You're coming out here and saying that what I said makes me sound like I'm an atheist, and then you come up and say no offense. That's as offensive as it gets. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm deep within my spiritual roots. I love God with all of my heart and soul. But this man right here clearly crossed the line by coming out and saying that. Now, you paid absolutely no attention to what I said. This is clear as day in the video. And it's so funny to me how come you get so far off the page, but yet everybody else that seen the video understood where I was coming from. Everyone gets what I'm trying to say. I'm responding to you. You're the one that's going all outside the confines of football. And you're going into, and the thing is, so, like, since you went there, I took it and I annihilated it with the absolute variable, the absolute, the one, the only, the alpha, the omega, God. There is no equation for that. There is no equation for prayer. There is no equation for the blessings and the healings that he does. There's no mathematical way to figure it out. When you have somebody that's in the hospital, laid up, they're completely paralyzed by medical standards, and they went to the top-notch hospital, they got the second, third, fourth opinion from nothing but the top-notch hospitals across the United States. And guess what? They came up with nothing and said, you're paralyzed from the neck down, nothing you could do about it. But at the same time, he has a faithful family that prays over him on night after night, day after day. And in a year's time, he's able to get up, walk. He's able to gain movement in his arms, legs, everything, and he's able to walk within a year. What mathematical equation, after all that math has been ruled out, what does that mean? That means God. The God-given abilities within that person to strive and overcome the adversity, to overcome the odds and obstacles. That's what ability is based off of. In spite of the medical situation that he's in spite of all the calculated theories, all the possibilities medically, that every single doctor in the world said, no, your son's not going to walk. No, this kid is not going to walk ever again. He's going to be confined to a wheelchair and wearing a neck brace to keep his head up. He defies all odds and comes out on top. That right there is the human will. That right there is determination. Those all go into your abilities, into your God-given abilities. There's no mathematical way to go around that. Flat out. Now, stop going off the path. Listen, all these mathematicians, all these 18 links and everything you had in your video here of theorems, equations, and speakers and all that. All these men here, God bestowed the ability of these men to show the greatness that they had through math. and become the greatest mathematicians of all time. Man didn't do this. God bestowed that ability. So just like all these other, like I said, all these other tabs you had, the exact same thing. God bestowed the ability for that to happen, for that to be so. So I'm stating this, and I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta go all off the subject for this guy, but he doesn't get it. And the thing is, if you couldn't catch it, but all these other people that put text comments up and everything was able to catch it, then that's telling me something. You need to take advice from Apex. Put the camera down, put the video games down, cut the computer off, take your mask off, and pick that Bible up and get the reading. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Go ahead and get up on that. You need a full education. Read that from cover to cover. You won't be the same brother ever again. I promise you that. But you need that. You need to do that, brother. Because you are going so far off the page. And a little thing I want to say here, YouTube, is that, you know, versus I've had, like, when he first issued that challenge, it reminded me of a phone conversation I had with him. We were discussing along the same things. I was talking about abilities and how how players' abilities derive the numerical results, and he was arguing numbers. And what did he do? The same thing like he's doing here. He came up talking about all kinds of theorems and equations and the stars and the moon, space, and all that. Listen, I tell him then, stay in the confines of football. I'm able to bring up NFL analysts, you know what I'm saying, to support my point. He ain't bringing up no NFL analysts. He bringing up Albert Einstein. What does that have to do with anything, man? I'm like, the thing is, Versus likes to superimpose his opinion on everybody and manipulate it so that everybody says, Versus, you're right. Your way is right. We're all wrong. Like, no, it's not going to work like that. That's why every time I speak to him, it always ends at agree to disagree. Because plain and simply, this dude goes he goes completely off the map, and he wants you to completely agree with him and side with him, regardless if the facts are against him or not. You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean? So it's kind of like it's a no-win situation with him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he's coming out here and saying, oh, you guys all could have done better than that. Dude, we came out and I've stated the absolute fact. And you're refuting it with mathematical equations that are derived by man. Every single link, like I said before, every single link that you've shown, every little equation is derived from man. But the root of it, the true root of it, is God giving the ability to the men that created those equations, those theories. So come on, man, like, you seriously need to check what you're doing, man. You need to check yourself with all that, man, for real. 'Cause you're going way off rip. And honestly, please, if you're not going to keep it, I'm like, listen, if you can't keep this within the confines of football, just say you can't. Just say, you know what, guys, I honestly don't have a true response. You guys got it right. I really don't have anything. But I'll be coming back with a response when I have my information correct, or something like that, or whatever. You know, whatever it is you put up. But quit coming out here and just trying to say, oh, all you guys can come better than that. We hit you with facts. You know what I'm saying? Bush Doctor hit you with, he came exactly how you talk. You talk about numbers so hard. He pulled up a perfect example. Dude who had all the numbers. He had all the numbers and he couldn't perform on the field. You know what I'm saying? But according to the numbers, he should have been outstanding, right? Now, if you took all his all his combine numbers and his draft status, and you put it into a video game, he would have been one of the top players in the game. He would have been a top rookie. You know what I'm saying? But his performance didn't showcase that. See what I'm saying? But then what you said, but then what was your counter to that? Oh, they made the wrong choice. They just made the wrong choice. Listen, no, I'm like, listen, they made the choice based upon the numbers. He was the best, so that means that according to the numbers statistically, and from the ability he's shown on the field, obviously he looked like he was the best player at that position now is available, or the best player all around available. And it fitted a team need, and they drafted him on his potential. Same thing with Ryan Leaf. That was drafted off of potential. You see what I'm saying? He was supposed to be the better quarterback than Peyton Manning according to the stats and according to the games that were shown through college. He was supposed to be the better player. Obviously, he couldn't hack it. He didn't have the mental composure. It clearly shown. He had meltdowns and everything. Throwing inaccurate passes. The brother didn't have the composure for the game. He couldn't handle it. He was one of those examples of guys that were great for college, but aren't built for NFL. You see what I'm saying? And it's because he doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the mental ability, the mental stability. You can't put a number on that. Versus, you cannot put a number on that, bruh. So that's what I'm saying. If you can't, if you're not gonna keep this in the confines of football and cite people who are talking about football, not NASA, and talking about all kinds of simulators and all that stuff, not Albert Einstein or any of these other guys, but anyone that's within the realm of football, then just drop the subject and keep it closed. Plain and simple, man. Gather yourself together and put up a real response. Just like what Moody said. I fully agree with him on that. You know what I'm saying? He's frustrated about it. It frustrates the heck out of me, too. The fact that you came up here calling me what I said was borderline atheist? What? Like, that's one of the most retarded things I ever heard. That's completely absurd and out of bounds. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use the word retarded, but that's very disrespectful of you to even say anything like that. When I clearly said that God given those abilities to man. How? I mean, I don't understand. Were you not paying attention at all to the video? I mean, it was pretty clear. My voice wasn't muffled or anything. It was right there. So, dude, I'm seriously, get the act together. Get your stuff together, man. For real. And then come out here and do your vids. But if you're not gonna if you don't understand what's going on or what have you, you just need to chillax, man. For real. Quit coming out here and putting up these absurd videos, and quit trying to act like you don't understand what anyone else is saying. When I see all these text comments on other people's vids, perfectly understand where I'm coming from. They have their opposing viewpoints. Some people agree, people disagree. That's perfectly fine. But you all of a sudden, you're the picture of confusion and distortion. You have no ideas of what I'm talking about. You act like you're so lost in the sauce, and then you come out and you fabricate your own statements off of what somebody else says, and you try to act like you're completely innocent, like you don't have any sense. You have sense. Just use it. Quit trying to act like you have no idea of which way is up and down. Come on, man. Chill out with all that, man. Shoot. So now, and as for the rest of YouTube public, I'm sorry I had to go ahead and go off the rip like this. And I'm sorry I haven't been putting up gameplay vids and everything. I've been mad busy, but I will be having those vids up, so I'll be putting them joints up. Alright? But alright, y'all. So yeah, Versus, get it together, brother. This is a cup check. You know what I'm saying? Doing the routine cup check, man. Get it, tighten it up, brother. For real, tighten it up. All right, man. I'll holla at you.